This video is presented by EA Game Changers. If you're curious what this means, you can always read more details in the description. Just like the last two videos, footage you're about to see is from an earlier build. My gameplay impressions here may not be representative of the gameplay you'll see in the final game next month. As of late, I have said a lot of nice things about Fort Tarsis and the people who live there. But in reality, 60 to 70% of the game is outside the fort. And compared to the last two videos where I, face rolled throughout the critical path missions, I had the opportunity to spend most of my time exploring Anthem in free play. Here, I try to figure out how BioWare gave substance to Anthem. Or if they did. In the lore, the Shapers left the world unfinished, chaotic, and ever-changing. But in practice, does the game feel anything like that? What fragments of the past can we find, in between slicing scars and zapping rabbits? What else have we gotten ourselves into? And the overall question, does it even work? Well, let's talk about my impressions so far on the constructed world outside in Anthem. Much like recent BioWare games, Anthem weaves its lore as natural as possible into the environment. One piece can be a scribbling of some eccentric arcanist researcher, another may be a decayed relic of the past crumbling in the grass. Others sometimes are so obvious you can see their little bubble from a mile away. Letters, theories, and folktales are both in your face and tucked behind dark corners. It's all there, if you care to find them. There's a lot of reward in exploration, picking plants along the way and diving through every water pool you find. But even if you can't be bothered, at least you get some XP for it. I still favor this as the best way of presenting lore, opposed to some of the games where they either give you a vocal dissertation on their history or don't have it in the game at all. I prefer the setup where we can refer to it all later, especially since there are way too many times I picked up codex entries only to get swarmed out of nowhere by a pack of scars. You'll get that a lot, I guarantee it. If you've been following me since at least Dragon Age Inquisition, you know I have an irrational hatred towards Nugs. Absolutely hate them. There's a video somewhere of me cackling as my Inquisitor slaughtered a whole room of them. But to be honest, in the Dragon Age universe, they're so well integrated into the world. They're meat for dwarves, sometimes a pet for lyrium ghosts. There was even an event called the Battle of the Squealing Plains. It's not spoken of in polite company. From what I've seen so far, BioWare takes the same approach in presenting creatures found in Anthem, where they give them depth, or at least a backstory. Grabbits are the easiest to point out, as one of the first lore bits you get to read is how the death of even one Grabbit spirals its community into chaos. Ash Titans have an air of mystery, as they have this non-native immense power and tend to be where Shaper technology is involved. And the Ursics, well, to be honest, they're just fun to kite back and forth as you pop shots into their back. It's not always that deep. Regardless, as you continue through and pick up more information on these creatures, it seems that some of them may have a greater purpose, whether it be as innocent as Nugs in Dragon Age, or as damning as the Keepers in Mass Effect. Just a hunch. Shifting waters? While exploring, Anthem has this really cool thing going for it, and that is the verticality of the map, where your javelin can reach sky and sea. However, I feel, they've really underdeveloped the sea part. Sea. Rivers? Streams? Water? Whatever. From what I've seen so far in Anthem, water exploration is absolutely beautiful, yet strangely so topical? For such a chaotic world, water is too peaceful. Your freelancer is not swept up in any danger. The range of interactivity felt limited to small loot drops or simple travel between landmarks. Then again, I am only talking about free play and not the instances like caves found across the map. Maybe I missed an instance somewhere where there's a spiraling pit of death or an underwater labyrinth puzzle, but I am mainly talking about the general free play area. I apologize for anyone who suffers from thalassophobia, but if this game picks up post-launch, I personally hope BioWare doubles down on water being as much of a danger as the surface. It doesn't have to be like the game Subnautica, where you have a crazy underwater fire-breathing dragon. but I'd appreciate the sense of urgency. Even with all of that said, there's something here that just needs a little bit more, just a slight bit of a push. It looks breathtaking, and I hope in the future BioWare can really take verticality to a deeper level, and not just above ground. Honestly, I can't say that I have seen enough of the game to verify the quality of the codex entries, the strength of exploration, nor the depth of chaos in the world. What I can say though is that it has a promising foundation. Instead of a massive map filled with deserts, I see sub-stories and scalability. It feels as if there's enough space to hide away and find new corners and depths to explore, even with 3 other people in my free play. I definitely don't expect a perfect game. However, I feel that they've tried to make sure that what they have at launch meets the expectations they've publicly laid out thus far. No microtransactions, good loots without the box, and good fun. Their world, our story. Hopefully. And considering that BioWare aims to provide free content updates post-launch, I prefer that they deliver a game with a rock-solid foundation that allows so much more room to grow and evolve. Thanks for watching! If you have any further questions about the game, please let me know in the comments. At this point, I believe I can talk a lot more than what I'll be able to show on screen, so as long as it's not story spoilers. Please rate the video as well, and subscribe if you haven't, as I will be back again this week instead of next. I'll also be streaming the VIP demo on Twitch/Ash. Twitch.tv/Ash. Okay, I hope I will see you there. As always, take care, I'll see you soon, and farewell and ansal.